What's up, Warrior Babes? Hey, everyone. Nikki here, and welcome to our Sunday Warrior Babe Revolution Rally Call. I am excited to be here and fire you guys up for a new week moving forward. Are you guys ready? Let's go. It's a new week. Time to get that mindset in check. And make sure that you are ready to rock and roll here, all right? And that's what we're going to do tonight on this rally call. The topic that I'm going to talk about has to do with a common thing that I hear every single freaking day, and it literally can destroy everyone's results. And I'm not exaggerating one bit. Whenever I hear this, I almost want to walk away from the person. But I try to keep my composure, and I try to snap them the fuck out of it. All right, it's a common thing that I hear on a daily basis, and honestly, I'm just going to kind of get right into the topic. I'm not going to do all the talking that I normally do because I hear that you guys are all joining in now, so we can dive into it. Like I was saying, the one thing that I hear on a daily basis is that excuse that I don't have enough time. So, tonight's topic is really going to focus on that, and it's going to talk about how to overcome the number one excuse that's holding so many people back. I mean, I know as Warrior Babes, if you've been in it for a while, you've learned to overcome that excuse, or maybe you still are saying it and you need a nice swift kick in the ass. That's what this rally call is going to help you do. But look, babes, I totally get it. And I hear this all of the freaking time. I hear all of the time, I don't have enough time. Well, right now, I'm going to completely squash the I don't have enough time excuse. Like I said at the beginning of this call, I literally hear it all the time, and I seriously want to walk away from the person. But I know there's a way to help that person snap out of that excuse and to hear how they can better situate their days. Because if you're saying this, I don't have enough time, guess what? You're never going to find the time because your brain is constantly searching for time. Right? And you're going to find other things that are going to crowd that time. You're always going to be constantly searching for time. You're saying that I don't have enough time. All right? And that thing is literally stopping so many women from taking that step forward for setting up a routine with themselves, with learning and getting their meal prep underway and eating better and scheduling their workouts. They think, okay, I can just start it when I have enough time. Well, guess what? In a week, you're not going to have that time, right? Unless you make that time. And I'm going to help you guys squash that excuse. I literally don't want to hear it anymore. I literally don't want to hear it. I'm so sick and tired of hearing it. It's literally the same excuse as the dog ate my homework when we were kids, okay? Your current situation, you're probably doing what? Even with COVID, it's so funny. This is another thing too as well. Before COVID hit, people said I didn't have enough time. And now even with COVID, people are saying I don't have enough time. So it's what? It's really just a figure of speech that people latch onto. So this might be your current situation, right? 40-hour weeks, 80-hour weeks, barely ever home, or you're a full-time mom with 3 to 4 kids, plus, their friends running around, whatever, your job never ends, right? Your job never ends, especially if you're a super mom. But let me just tell you, I have seen, I'm going to specifically call out this one babe who's in my VIP program, who's 39 years old. She has 2 sets of twins, all at the age, I think, of 5. She has lost 50-plus pounds in the last 3 to 4 months. Okay, so let me just let you guys know, I get it, you're all busy, but we are all busy. Every single one of us is busy. I'm running a company. There's 5,000 women inside of WarriorBabe, plus that 10,000 women have bought into the program at some point or another, right? I don't have an excuse. I make my shit I make sure my workouts are in place. I make sure my meals are in place. Those are the things that I can control, okay? There are other women that are busier than you who are still making their goals happen. Let that sink in. If you're somebody who says, I don't have enough time, well, guess what? There's somebody who's busier than you, and they're still making it happen. I've worked with nurses who have crazy hours, nurses who work night shifts, and still put in the work towards their goals. You guys, if you guys have been on my journey, either you're just tuning in or you've been there from the start, right? My entire journey at the start when I was on my own fitness, thing in the beginning, I was taking care of my sick grandmother, which was like a full-time job. I was living with her and taking care of her. And then I was a full-time nursing student, and I was working in the ER as a tech at the time before I became a nurse. And I committed myself to do that bodybuilding show. This is all the beginning of my journey. Now, granted, I would treat my grandmother as a kid at that point of where she was at in her life. Right? I don't have kids. And I wasn't running around the place, but I was a full-time nursing student. I was working full-time. I was working part-time in the ER, taking care of full-time as my sick grandmother. So what I'm trying to say is everybody doesn't have enough time. We're all freaking busy. But if your goals are as big as you want them, if your goals are big, and if you set goals that you have to work towards, you've got to make that time. And there's women that are busier than you, and they're still reaching their goals. There's someone always working harder than you. Always, literally, you guys, that's the one needle mover that got my ass up on a daily basis. Somebody is working harder than you. Because guess what, moms? Another mom is working harder than you. Even if you guys don't have kids, somebody is still working harder than you. I look at it as like somebody's running a business and still being able to work out and prioritize their meals. Some people can't even do that, and that's where they lose themselves. But I'm sticking to my truth and what I know I have to do in order for me to feel good, to do good, to show up for myself. And even though I'm running a business, I still make time to get my workouts in. I still make time to meal prep. I still make time to do all this kind of stuff. You guys are moms. Those kids are your full-time job. There's other moms who are doing it. Why can't you? Always think somebody is working harder than you. So the one thing that I want to share most importantly is time management. Prioritize your time. I'm not kidding. If you're somebody who, and as a mom, you guys should be nailing this down. And even if you're older in your grandkid stage where you don't have any kids, you have more time to yourself. So literally there's time. There is time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Make the time. Prioritize your time. Cut out the bullshit. Cut out the scrolling. Cut out social media. Cut out, anything that is not energy effective towards the goals that you're trying to strive for yourself. If it's energy sucking and away from your goal, knock it out. Replace it with something that's going to be something that is getting you on the right track to your goals. Okay? Utilize your time effectively. Time management. If you guys, I know you moms have them, either calendars or you're marking down when the kids have Zoom calls now, right? And when you got to be here at this practice or whatever, you have it. So block off that time for yourself, right? An hour workout is only 4% of your day. You guys deserve that time. Okay, busy is not the same as being productive. And I want you guys to starve your distractions and feed your focus. Starve your distractions. Get off social media. Stop scrolling. Just watch me on Instagram. That's the only important thing. I'm just kidding. But feed your focus on what you know you need to do and accomplish. And then prioritize what needs to get done so that you feel accomplished, so that you want to keep doing more and more of it, because that's going to help you getting to your goals on a daily basis. You have to your time is precious, right? Everyone's time is precious. So prioritize what matters most to you. Prioritize your family. Prioritize your responsibilities. And make sure there's time for yourself. There's no mom out there that can't fit in an hour to yourself in a day. Remember, somebody's always working harder than you. So manage your time better. Another one, cut out the extra fluff. Like I said, stop scrolling on social media. Get rid of that kind of stuff. Cut out the shit that does not serve you. And like I've talked about before, single actions versus clusters. There's moms that I know who, cook fresh meals on a daily basis. Well, that could be time consuming. And this could be an area where maybe if meal prepping in groups will help rather than these small single actions. Right? If you can meal prep everything on every 3 days and you have meals for everybody in the house, then you're set. You're golden. You only have to just pull out of the fridge and eat what you know you're supposed to eat. And then, everybody else is then cared for too as well, because you have the meals in place. And you can meal prep every 3 days or every 4 days or once a week, right? Or if you're somebody who has the time and can do the single meals a day, or, doing it on a, just completely lost my train of thought. Like you can do it every day, you have that time, then that's awesome. Maybe you can single cluster things in other areas or cluster things in other areas to prioritize what you should be doing towards your goals, right? So that's really important. Cutting out the extra fluff, managing your time management. And then the last thing that I would want to say is, it's not as hard as you guys make it. It's really not as hard as you guys make it. I think I say this over and over and over again. I think this is like a kick that I've been on lately, is so many people like overcomplicate everything. You guys start like assuming, and then those assumptions comes into like these stories and these thought processes in your mind, and then you're on that story for like 3 weeks because you're making this assumption. You're making it complicated. You're making it so hard for yourself when really it's so simple. Meal prep, workout, hit your macros. Spend 10 minutes at night planning the next day. You guys, like if you're new and you're tracking as you go, like I said, like you're setting yourself up for failure at that point. You don't want to track as you go. Please listen to me. Take the time the night before to set yourself up for success. And then that way your whole next day is done. It's planned. All right, so just a recap from tonight's call. I get it. Everybody's busy. But there's people that are busier than you, and they're getting the results. So what you have to do is just time management, prioritize your time better and more effectively, cut out the extra shit, stop scrolling on social media, do things in clusters, right? Meal prep in clusters if you can, or no, you should. If you're someone who's doing it daily and that's cutting up a lot of your time. And then don't overcomplicate it. Don't overcomplicate it. Get out of your own way. It's simple. Once you keep doing it, it gets easier and easier and easier. But you have to, if you're somebody saying, I don't have enough time, I'm sorry to tell you, you're never going to find time. All right, and then, again, I'm going to leave you on this note. Somebody's always working harder than you. Remember that. Wake up tomorrow and be like, there's a mom out there who's doing this. There's somebody else that's working harder than me. There's somebody else that's up at, right? I know you guys are up at like the crack of dawn and get your workouts, and that's fire. That's awesome. But think to yourself, somebody's working harder than me in my workouts. There's another WarriorBabe that's working harder, and they're getting results. So kind of like, remember that. Let that be the fire under your ass this week, that when you don't feel like doing something, guess what? Somebody's doing it 10 times harder than you. Okay? So I don't ever want to hear the excuse anymore of I don't have enough time. We all have the same amount of time. Work harder. Put in the work. All right? And know that somebody is working harder than you at the end of the day. All right, you guys. I'll catch you on our Q&A on Wednesday. Put in the work. Show up for yourselves and crush it this week. See you, everyone.